Showcase Cinemas, Manchester, another 20th century space that is gone forever. Cause I can't help falling in love with pink skies. Sometimes when I look in your eyes, I swear I can see your soul. Sometimes I look in your eyes, I can see your soul. Once divided, nothing left to subtract. Some words when spoken can't be taken back. Walks on his own with thoughts he can't help thinking. Futures above, but in the past he's slow and sinking. Caught a bolt of lightning, cursed the day he let it go. Oh, 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 nothing man, nothing man, isn't it something, nothing man. She once believed in every story he had to tell. One day she stiffened, took the other side. Empty stares from each corner of her shared prison cell. One just escapes, one's left inside the well. And he who forgets will be destined to remember. Oh, 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 nothing man, nothing man, should have been something, nothing man. Morning everyone, Thursday the 4th of February 2021. Welcome to Wilmslow. On arriving in Wilmslow, the first thing you notice is how civilized and well-to-do it is. So I've just found some free parking, as always. We come up the hill and the first big structure I see, of course, is a Waitrose supermarket. It's art, guys. And do you see Nicola Sturgeon in the background? Okay, so I've kind of done the main drag walk of Wilmslow. And there's a lot of money here, but I'm not impressed with the regeneration they've done here in the city centre. Obviously done in the mid-90s. And again, they just created cardboard cutout, square monstrosities, all function, no form, no brutalism even, just bullshit. So, what we've done, I can smell a posh area, just look for the trees, and just look for the bollards closing off roads. So we're gonna have a look and let's see what Wilmslow's all about for the rich. So just passed an estate agent not too long ago, and you know, from the outside, the houses in Wilmslow look like any other middle-class area in Greater Manchester. But you have a look at the prices, and they'll make your eyes water. You might start to cry a little bit. It's very much like London prices. Saw on the estate agent a detached, modern-built house. And a smart little garden, 3 bedrooms. How much? £995,000. So, yeah. It's amazing how we humans split up into different social classes and different cultures, isn't it? Creates envy, anger, resentment. You know, just like any other mammal, they've done the tests. When we feel that we're being screwed over, when things are unfair, we get very angry. So I'm not allowed in here. Let's go and have a look. Yeah, we're certainly in some very private place here that we're not meant to be. But hey, what are they going to do? Kick me out? Go for it. Let's have a look at the date on this house. I love it. Just like those gravestones in Stockport yesterday. Here's a good one. This one's not so much passive aggressive, it's just aggressive. Oh, okay. A lot of Land Rovers and Range Rovers in the old Wilmslow. Still on a private road, hence why it's not paved. And it's just Overfinch, Range Rover, SVR, Range Rover. That's a nice modern house there. That was probably about £2 million, I'd guess. Whereas if that was in Salford, probably pick it up for about £500,000. We'll go and have a look at the Aston Martin garage, just because it sells more Aston Martins than any other garage in the world. That's interesting. And of course, it's a midlife crisis man. Get an Aston Martin. Be like James Bond. Get the Omega watch on. Although in the latest Bond, that trailer, it's been paused, isn't it, guys? It's been fully ruined by woke. You have an insecure, aging Bond, a bit doddery, a bit sad, and in the trailer he turns up, no one knows who he is, and he gets shouted at by his new protege, and she's like, "Stay in your corner, Bond, or I'm going to break your knees." And he's like, "Oh, sorry, I'll just let you talk to me like that." This is very funny. Oh, there's a park down here. Let's have a look. Hello. Welcome to the cars, it says. Let's see, this must be a park. Cheshire East. Dog control order. Yeah, just imagine how much that house would cost. Very nice. Nice tree. Range Rovers everywhere. Everyone's got a Range Rover. You got like the red trousers, red corduroy trousers. That's how you know you're in a posh English place, when the men are wearing red corduroy trousers. Where was I? Don't know, just ranting. Just having a good rant. And also, I want to give you guys the feeling of just hanging out with me. Just going for a walk, hanging out, having a look at stuff. Maserati. That's like the poor man's expensive car. I'm only kidding. It's still an expensive car. And then we approach a larger avenue here. And just so you guys know, I've not looked up expensive street in Wilmslow. They're all pretty much like this around the city centre. There's a lot of demand. And the reason why Wilmslow is so expensive, we are in what's called the Cheshire Golden Triangle. There's Alderley Edge, there's Prestbury, two of the poshest places on earth. Very nice, very close to Manchester. And there's Wilmslow completing the triangle. And what happened was, when railways were becoming a thing in the 1800s, they were connecting all these towns to Manchester. Sure, all the robber barons, all the capitalists, all the factory owners, all the big boys, they came out to the satellite towns in the south and built massive houses like this one. Fucking hell, look at the size of this bad boy. I thought surely that's flats. Nope. Some guy's house. It's actually Charter House number 10. Very nice. So you come around. It's very nice. So they built train lines, locomotive railway lines, choo-choos, choo-choo trains out to Wilmslow, Chester, Macclesfield, Knutsford, etc., etc. And we mentioned in the video not too long ago that the difference between a nice place and a shitty area sometimes is just the people and their outlook. Let's just do a little reveal with the postman. Mr. Postman. There's an idea in philosophy and psychology, which also happens to be true, is that you can't see the world as it actually is. You're not seeing reality as it is. The photons that hit the back of your eyeball, it's not like the photons are like, you know, those photons just get turned into chemical electric energy, and those little synapses fire those neurons towards your brain. And what your brain does, it then creates a mental image, a 3D mental virtual reality in your consciousness as to the world you're seeing. And then your scientists and atheists will say, well, it's so accurate, otherwise we wouldn't be able to live. It's a wonderful representation of reality and hyper accurate, which is why we can have scientific experiments and why airliners don't fall out of the sky. But then your philosopher goes, well, Mr. Scientist, are you sure it's accurate and not just filtered down for survival and procreation? And then they're like, this isn't even getting onto the hard problem of consciousness. So why do I raise all this? The reason I raise all this is that once you've meditated enough, once you've researched enough into the very fundamental nature of reality that can be proven or agreed on scientifically, it's literally nothing. There's nothing there. There's nothing. There's probability fields of nothing. Infinite nothing with particles popping in and out of existence in infinitely small energetic ways. Just nothing. There's nothing that explains why atoms put together will become self-aware. Nothing that explains any of that. So, in the 20th century, especially post-World War II, and no wonder as well, it was pretty bad. You had your existentialists, Jean-Paul Sartre, a bit too dry for me. I've always been much more of an Albert Camus kind of guy. L'existence. So we've stripped away all the mythologies and fables. Norse mythology gave way to Christianity. Christian mythology gave way to Charles Darwin. Darwinian mythology gave way to the modern world. The modern world then stripped away anything that isn't fact-based. And now you have coronavirus panic, dystopia land 2021. That great line. If you don't believe in anything, if you don't believe in something, you'll fall for anything. Cults, bad investments, bad decisions, bad jobs. So to all my darling viewers, there's a reason why they call Christianity the greatest story ever told. Because that's all it is, guys. We live in the nothing. We live in the ether. We live in the void. We live in the beautiful, grotesque reality that it's just blah. So what have we done for thousands of years? We've created stories. We've built upon stories. We are doing it's 2,000 years going. Maybe it's a 50,000 year project. And it's the children of God versus the children of the lie. And basically, the ideas of love, the ideas of love, it's the ultimate idea of all. It's the most powerful force in the universe. And Jesus' message was love, and love is the truth. Now, this doesn't have to turn you into a meek, oh no, turn the other cheek. Nah, guys. Great wars have been fought for Christ. Great invasions for Christ. Great crusades for Christ. And, what was his name? Little Seventh-day Adventist. How vulgar is the Bentley? I think Bentley's a drug dealer car. Seventh-day Adventist, or was he a Mormon? Desmond Doris. Made famous by Hacksaw Ridge. Bloody pacifist. Goes to war. His platoon out in Okinawa in Japan. Marines. Hard men. Killers. They're like, Desmond, you piece of shit. You are a piece of shit. You are a hypocrite. You might as well be a Japanese fucking spy. You are a German ally. Your ideas of God and pacifism are brainwashing. You're a piece of shit. And he's like, yeah, well. And they beat him up. They bullied him. They bullied him. But he had his categorical imperative. He had his prime directive. He knew the sanctity of God, of love, of not hurting your fellow man. By the end of his tour in Japan, over the Hacksaw Ridge, he'd saved. And don't forget, these were young men with a leg blown off. These were young men bleeding out. These were young men holding on to their entrails from a grenade wound on the battlefield in no man's land. These men were gonna die. Many of them gonna die crying out for their mummies. Because everyone's a hard bastard until you're lying on the floor holding your lower intestines. What did Desmond Doris say? He prayed, he said, dear God, please Lord, let me save one more. It's a true story. Big ass Christian Mel Gibson made a film about it called Hacksaw Ridge. Dear Lord, let me save one more. And you know, by the end of their tour of duty, the same young men that bullied him, that hated him, that thought he was a fraud, that thought he was a little Christian pussy boy, they all revered him as a saint, almost like Jesus Christ. So next time someone tells you Christianity is only a story, say, fuck you. Everything's a story. This is the greatest story. Alright, this is kind of like the epicenter. You got your little high street here with some like old building, Rex, the Rex Cinema. But just to give you a view of the kind of main intersection here in Wilmslow. And we're going to head down there to the Aston Martin garage. But I don't like the way a lot of the buildings have been torn down and they've tried to put up smart 1980s, 1990s stuff. Doesn't quite work. But anyway, as I was saying, check this price out. Look at this. One of the finest village, that's just a few miles down the road, Alderley Edge. 3.5 million? No problem. Where was that one I was talking about, the modern one for 995? Here he is, here. There you go, here we go. That's the one I was talking about earlier. Look at that, smart little modern build. £1 million, $1.6 million. Very nice. Here guys, you see you got Rolex, you got Patek Philippe, and down the middle it's, I guess that's the name of the shop, Preston's. Just want to show you guys 1930s Art Deco. When you come a bit closer, you'll see the architecture, very popular in the UK in the 30s, and it's not bad. It's not brutalist by any stretch of the imagination. They hadn't yet suffered World War II, so they still believed a bit in let's say hello to the security guard as well. Hello, security guard. And then you've got, oh, look at that, there's one watch. How much? How much? It's got diamonds on it. Diamonds are forever. And this one? Diamonds are forever. Yeah, bloody chameleon. And you've got diamonds are forever. You don't get many little satellite towns that have a big ass Rolex shop just on some side street. See, this is what I mean. They've tried to make smart looking buildings. They've even, look at this Methodist church. This looks so shit. Utterly shit. Look at that across there. Rubbish. Rubbish! Of all the kind of modern new build trying to be traditional, this is the best little bit. We're right near the Aston Martin garage, and this little bit's not bad. Hey guys, the keys in this one. It's only a V12. Should we take it? Let's listen to that engine. Very nice. Wonder how much it is for a V12. Probably second hand. You know what, they probably depreciate like crazy. Just by me filming it, just by me getting close to it, it's probably lost about £20,000 in value. It's already 4 years old. Okay, so yeah, this is the garage, Aston Martin garage that sells the most Aston Martins anywhere in the world. Sorry, I looked it up again because I heard myself say that. The most Aston Martins anywhere in Great Britain. Now, I'll tell you what I really like. My OCD has seen something that has tickled my brain. I've had a little OCD-gasm. Check this out. So you've got this F-Pace looking thing. It's Aston Martin's attempt at a 4x4, but it just looks like a kind of Jaguar F-Pace with a slight facelift. But check this out. Check how close to the bollard this guy's parked. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Look at that guy. What's that? 1.5 millimeters. Excellent. And it's nice of them for the peasants like me, for the little plebs like me. They put the things I can afford over here. I mean, that one in the box there, the little Le Mans one, I bet that one's not expensive. 72, I can't even afford the little toys. This isn't for me, guys. Every third car in Wilmslow is a Range Rover. Every car's a Range Rover. So it ends, the little high street, Ladbrokes, where gambling addicted people come to lose their money to a multi-billion pound company. And all of a sudden, boom, beautiful Cheshire houses. Nothing more British than a bowling green with the flag flying at half-mast for Captain Tom Moore, who passed away at the age of 100. What a great guy. Okay, it's a Range Rover. I wonder what the next car is. Oh yeah, it's a Range Rover. Today's video is dedicated to Annie Beach of Gorton, who died 140 years ago at the tender age of 1 year old. And her parents obviously placed this very simple yet very touching gravestone here to remember her. Because love is forever, love transcends space and time, love can move mountains, love does not suffer from entropy. For a while it was great. You know, the modern world, the lack of dogma brought us airliners, holidays in St. Bart's. Funnily enough, that's St. Bart's Church behind me. Brought us healthcare, pharmaceuticals, plastic surgery, Aston Martins. So we kept our mouths shut as God was placed in the back burner. Progress! Now, something happened in the 20th century to our Muslim brothers. Islam was a lot more moderate 70 years ago than it is these days. In the 50s, even 60s, in Iran, in Egypt, in Lebanon, women walking around without headscarves, wearing skirts, women respected. Even in Pakistan, you guys won't know this. My parents in 1970, when was it? 75. They went on their honeymoon to Pakistan. A Scotsman and a Brazilian woman. They loved Pakistan. Super liberal, super moderate. So what happened to Islam? Remember I was saying a minute ago that the The rewards of modern life gave us airliners and big houses and central heating and washing machines. Well, guess what it gave our Muslim brothers? Bombs, invasions, CIA plots, regime change, humiliation. No wonder they turned angry. No wonder they went deeper and deeper into their way of thinking. Islam became radical. I guess Mr. Abdullah, Mr. Muhammad, Mr. Khalid, Mr. Yasser stood there, deep, beautiful thoughts in his mind. Next thing you know, a laser-guided paveway bomb blows up a suspected weapons depot next to him, and 3 of his kids are dead. God bless the USA. So the reason I raise all this, we're starting to see now, us heathen Westerners, we're starting to see what we did around the world. We're starting to see that all our advancements of science and progress brought us Prozac, Adderall, school shootings, continued regime change and invasions around the world, control, the banning of smoking in pubs. That was where it began, guys. It's just got tight. The Patriot Act. Your phone's getting monitored. And guess what, guys? We're starting to return to Christ. We have to.